Talking travel dog.
Well, if you're like me, you probably drove around for a couple of months listening to your window creak and crackle, and then finally one day it does this. That's right. Time for a new regulator. Well, I bought this one off of Amazon for $38 and some change. Pretty good deal. Now, when you start this project, make sure you have a workbench laid out where you can lay the brand new regulator right next to the old one. This is going to be very important. I'll explain why as we get closer to the end of the video. We're going to start this project by removing the panel screws, 2 on each end on the sides and 3 on the bottom. You can do that with an Allen wrench. Step number 2, we're going to remove the cowling from the side view mirror. This is on the interior of the door. Just pry it back, it'll come off. And step 3, you're going to pry up the outside window guide. Now make sure not to bend this. You don't want to put a crank in this. Take your time and jiggle it. Just get jiggly with it. Sorry, Will Smith. And step number 4, you're going to lift the inside window guide up just enough so the panel comes out from underneath it. You're going to leave that inside window guide back down in place after you get the panel off. That felt on the door guide there, window guide, will keep it from getting scratched. Next, take off the door lock knob, then move on to the speaker. It's really important that you disconnect that wire from the back of the speaker. Just pinch and pull, it'll come right apart. Next, take off the cover to the door handle. Again, this just pries apart. And remember to disconnect the window switch here. Again, just pinch and pull. Step number 8, we're going to remove 2 screws, one above the door handle and one below. Now once you do this, the door panel is going to be completely free of the door, except for the wiring going to the interior light, which will be in the back bottom of the door. And then go to the front where the door handle is, and you will release the power door lock switch. Now you can remove the panel. Before you peel back the membrane, you must remove the speaker mount. This way you'll have clear access to everything you need to get to. After you've removed that speaker mount, or peel back the membrane, you've exposed the door. You now have clear access to everything you need to get to. You have 5 screws, bolts you're going to have to undo, but right now you have to adjust the window. This is step number 12. Adjust that window so you can get access to the clamps. Oh, there we go. Step number 13, with a socket wrench, start to loosen that nut on the window clamp. Don't take it all the way off, just loosen it where the window is loose inside the clamp. Step number 14, with both hands, get in there and push that window up out of the clamps. When it's free, go to the top and just pull the window right out the top of the door. As a side note here, just move the door handle up out of the way. Put it up in its holding spot there. That way it won't obstruct you getting to those bolts. Step number 15, we're going to disconnect the power to the power window motor. Just squeeze and pull it back. And there it is. Now we're going to remove the bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one last. Okay, just in that order. Here we go. Now all 5 of these nuts that you're taking off right now are going to be used on the new regulator. So make sure you keep these together. I'd put them right on the new regulator after you take them off the old one, just to be safe. Now after you remove this last bolt here, the window regulator is going to be ready to pull out of the door. Now lean the top to the right, pull the bottom to the left, and bring it out exactly the way you see me doing it here. If you try to bring it straight out, you'll be wrestling with it all day, but just take your time and it'll come out eventually. Once you've completed this task, well, then you've completed the hardest part of this job. Patience is definitely a virtue here. Now it's time to find out why it's important to lay the new regulator right next to the old one. At looking at the window clamps on the old regulator and the new, you'll notice there'll be a slight difference. So what you want to do is to match the new adjustments to the old ones. Don't readjust the old ones, but do match the new ones to the old ones. You'll save yourself a lot of headaches down the road. It's very difficult to adjust a window after it's inside the door. Now we're going to want to remove the window motor from the old regulator, and we do this by unscrewing 5 bolts. There won't always be a zip tie there, but if there is, just clip it off. Now remove these little brass screws right here, and this old spindle will come out. It just flips right over into the new regulator. When you throw the old spindle away, don't throw the sprocket away underneath it. That goes with the new regulator. Well, after you attach the motor to the new regulator, you're ready to install. This is the fun part of the job. There is light at the end of the tunnel. All you do now is follow your steps backwards. Go from 20 all the way back to 1. And when you complete task number 1, well, guess what? You're done. Hey, if this video was helpful to you at all, well, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and maybe a nice comment down below. Or if you got any suggestions that could help somebody do something quicker, or you know a better way to do something than the way I was doing it, well, put it down in the comments. That would be a big help. And again, I really appreciate you listening to Talking Trouble Dogs. Okay, come on, boy, let's go to the park.